Hi everyone, welcome to this webinar. We will start in a couple of minutes. If you have any questions, you can put it in the Q&A box and I will be more than happy to answer. Just give me a couple of minutes, we'll start. Hi all, welcome. This is Alok Patnia, Managing Partner at taxmantra.com and Chief Enabler at Profit Board. We are a global tax and legal firm based out of India, Singapore and US. So in this webinar, we will discuss and go deep into business growth and continuity for growing businesses. So let's start. We will structure this webinar into three main bullets. We will discuss about the overview in terms of what has happened in COVID-19 and what impact does COVID-19 gives on businesses. We will also discuss about business continuity in the changed scenario, and we will discuss about business resilience in response to COVID-19. So let's start. So there is a report which suggests that 88% of businesses are not prepared for the impact of coronavirus. And COVID-19 has already produced distressed situation for most of the businesses. As companies navigate the ongoing COVID-19 crisis, the core area for new age leaders must be on how they can best protect their people, serve their customers, and stabilize the business continuity, as well as steps they can take not only to react to severe business shocks, but also to reshape business and plan for recovery. So, how do you do that? Should you abort or start afresh? Should you pivot? How to adjust and grow? This means identifying and acting on opportunities, strategic, operational, organizational, and financial also. So in this webinar, we will touch upon all these factors one by one. So let us first understand what is business continuity in a COVID world. So there is a survey by Accenture Technology which suggests that 76% of executives, senior executive, agrees that organizations need to re-engineer the experience that bring technology and people in more human-centric manner. We all understand that a change needs to happen, but how this will happen is something which we need to understand and learn in this webinar. One thing which is more important is that at this point of time, we are into a direct impact of COVID-19. So whatever business are getting impacted, they are getting impacted directly due to COVID-19. These businesses may be hospitality, hotels, sports, entertainment, leisure. But when we will move forward, and if our operation doesn't start, if employment doesn't come back, then there will be indirect impact also. So today, many of the businesses might think that I have not been impacted, but you might not be impacted directly at this point of time, but you may get impacted indirectly with moving time in future. So what does business continuity mean? See, business continuity will imply different things to different people. However, there is just one common angle, and that common angle is that you continue to do business, you continue to be stable, and you continue to render services to your client. So you should not be out of the market. You should not be in a situation to shut down your business. That is what continuity means. Now, what has happened that earlier a business will go out of the market because of the business reasons, maybe in 5 years, 7 years, because businesses would get time to change and reflect. But in COVID world, the time to change and reflect is reduced. Now you will not get 5 years or 7 years. You might get 1 month, 2 month, 90 days maximum. And in that time, if you do not change, if you do not adopt, if you do not become resilient, then your business continuity may be at risk. So what are the things we should do? We should turn around things, overcome financial constraints, and build resilience and cope with distress situations. So how to turn around rapidly? Because rapidly is important term here. Turning around is not critical. You don't have time of 2 years, 3 years to turn around. You have to turn around rapidly. The first thing to do would be quickly take stock of the cash and liquidity scenario. How many businesses, MSME and SME, they have done a cash and liquidity scenario analysis assessment? That is super critical. This means and acting on opportunities for strategic, operational, organizational, and financial change. Establish solid ground for turnaround by assessing your liquidity. Now, what can you do? What you should do is do a budget and a working capital analysis. Talk to and analyze all your inflows. Talk to all your clients. Talk and go deep into all the revenue streams which you have, and understand that whether these revenue streams will work in future or not. Every business, they will be defined and they will be segregated into three slabs in COVID. One slab is one scenario is wherein you are positively impacted. If you are lucky and if you are in a business which is positively getting impacted because of COVID, make best use of this time. That means that once the situation will become normal, you might not be able to have the same kind of positive impact. Then there are businesses, which are neutral. So today there may be many businesses which are not getting impacted neither positively nor negatively. You may be one of those businesses. If that is the fact, then continue to work hard because you don't know, and be vigilant because you don't know what whether you will continue to have neutral impact on your business. And the third category, 90% of the businesses globally are in the third category. The third category of business is wherein you are getting directly impacted because of COVID, and it is a negative impact. There may be many businesses, manufacturing, trading, uh, leisure, malls, hotels, restaurants, or are negatively getting impacted. So I think that is very critical. And the five things which you can do is identify options. The first thing is to stabilize. How do you stabilize? You stabilize by analyzing your working capital, analyzing your revenue status, and also analyzing your expenses. Reduce your expenses, cut short your capital expenditure, cut short your fixed expenditure, focus on your variable expenditure, see which are the variable expenses which you can cut down, improve on your revenue, talk to your clients, give them discounts, but get money in the bank. Then once you are in the position of stabilizing, then you identify more options to improve your revenue, and you execute and you execute. Once you and build a turnaround strategy. Moving ahead, so how do you overcome financial constraints? 5 steps to achieve sustainable financial and operational changes. By understanding the needs of borrowers, lenders, shareholders, managing stake communication, you can stay on top of issues and make informed decisions. So talk to all these people and understand the financial and operational changes. I have already discussed in terms of what you can do. For instance, have you discussed, so you have done a working capital assessment and now you know that what kind of money you require, whether you will be on surplus or you will be on negative, and do you have a negative working capital. Negative working capital is basically, it is the difference between your revenue and expenses. So now you know that you are negatively impacted. So if you are negatively impacted, then what you do? And if you see that there is no sense in burning your personal net worth, so then what you do? So then there are a lot of MSME policies and government options, and so you talk to the banks, you see if you can borrow and take advantage of some of the MSME loan which are been given. So I think that's the next step. And then you build resilience and cope with distressed situations. Again, these are the ways you can do it. And understand that how these impacts you directly or indirectly. As I said, uh, at least you should have money in the bank for next 15 months. If you do not have money in the bank for next 15 months, then you have to be honest to your business and change that business line. Talk about new avenues. And if you feel that you are just burning your cash and you do not see any turnaround, then maybe talk about insolvency, talk about closing the business. There is no harm in doing that if you feel so. So there may be many restaurants, many hotels, 2 star, 3 star hotels. They don't have the cash, they don't have the deep pocket. Now they know that in next three years, or for that matter 3 months, they will not improve. So what they do? I mean, so they have to find out a way. They have to find out a way to come out of this. So to summarize, what is business continuity? Business continuity is basically assess the current situation, and if you do not have a team, if you do not have a financial expert, hire a team. Then build a plan by brainstorming with your team of experts. And third, communicate calmly, clearly, and continuously to your stakeholder, to your employees, to your vendors, that this is the situation now. What should we do? So let's focus on the cash flow and liquidity management. Uh, and assessing the situation, cash flow and liquidity management is one of the critical things which you have to do. Given the importance of cash flow in times like this, companies should immediately develop a war plan for cash management as part of this their overall business risk and continuity plan. In doing so, it is essential to take full ecosystem and end-to-end supply chain. So I had already discussed this, why you need to focus on cash flow and liquidity management, because at the end of the day, cash is king at this scenario. And if you are not able to preserve cash at this point of time, then it becomes very difficult for your business to continue, because when the world will open for business, you will not have cash to grow. Then what you do? You will not be able to do anything at that point of time. So thus, from today onwards, you have to start preserving cash. How do you preserve cash? You preserve cash by reducing your expenses, cutting short your expenses, talking to your employees, talking to your vendor, talking to everyone wherein you feel that you can reduce expenses, and focus on your clients. Give them discount if you feel that money can come in. Give bulk discount. Work on your credit line, and if you still feel that you still need money, then go to bank and borrow. and use this MSME scheme. That's the only way you can actually be on top of these things. Moving forward, just a second. Moving forward, so what are the ways wherein you can uh, do and work on your financial and liquidity management? So supply chain can be one of the ways wherein you audit your vendors, partners, customers at this point of time, ensuring you understand the financial risks and key trading partners and customers. You do this because you might not be able to pay for goods and services you deliver, and also if you don't know whether your customers will be able to pay you, then why do you sell to them? So if they are not able to pay you, there is no sense in selling them. As I already discussed, you have to reevaluate your available sources of finance. You have to work on the cash to cash conversion cycle. That means that you should reduce the line of credit which you give to your customers. Work, talk to your customers which normally pay on time, work with them. Customers which are habitually delay their payment, just don't give them credit. And reevaluate your variable costs. You can also introspect on your capital assets investment plans and extend payable cycle. Talk to your vendor and see whether you can get a extended line of credit. I think we have already discussed inventory management and receivables. One of the very interesting thing which no SMEs and MSME does in today's world is is to do a business insurance. So how many of you actually move ahead and do a business insurance? There are more than 20 kinds of business insurance which uh, a business can do. For instance, for loss of business, personal director indemnification, and you should do all such to ensure that you don't get into unnecessary into a problem. Another thing which you can do is convert your fixed cost into variable cost. So there may be vendors, there may be people who may not be who are on your permanent role. Now talk to them and can you convert those into a variable pay? When you do that, you save costs. Focus on non-traditional revenue streams. So I can give you a classic example of non-traditional revenue stream. So I know a very large manufacturer of PPE equipments, personal protective equipment, and they earlier they were doing it only for large manufacturing industries in Europe and Germany, and they never thought of not thought of this as a domestic market. With this COVID coming in, all the hotels, all the restaurants, everyone needs a PP. Even airline industry needs a PP. So they quickly moved and started addressing the Indian markets because exports were down at this point of time. Another example can be example of Wow Momo, wherein they quickly converted some of their supply chain into essentials, and now they are selling groceries also. Now I'm not saying that these are long term ways of doing it. I'm not saying that, but these are non-traditional, and this can keep you afloat at this point of time. So some of the tools to unlock internal and external liquidity is what we will discuss now. Bank cost analysis and optimization is critical. So if you already have loans and borrowings, we recommend that you talk to them because the interest rates have gone down. Talk to them and see that your interests are reduced, or talk to them and restructure your loans so that you get more time to pay off your loan. Another thing which you can do is move from uh, the physical delivery or the physical collection or the check, with those things at times delays your payment. uh, we have heard many times that my checkbook is in office, or the CFO is traveling and I'm not able to issue check, I'm not able to raise invoices. What you should do is convert those into digital invoicing and make give option to clients to make payments online. And I think we have already discussed that bargain sales across value chain. So you should maintain continuous sale, uh, and that should be the focus, number one focus, more so during the economic stress. Without a solid sales pipeline, the entire cash cycle will stop. So several bulk negotiation techniques would be utilized, like cash discount, like large bulk discount, and see that you bring in money in the bank. Factoring is a very unique thing, and which was not very popular in India. And now with the new NBFCs model is coming up, and when some of the banks are also doing it, so you can actually get your good healthy receivables converted into money, wherein some of the NBFCs or some of the other companies want to buy out those receivables, those invoices. That's called factoring. uh, Global funding channels and cash pooling is also one of the ways of doing it. For instance, very smartly, you would have noticed how uh, Reliance is use Geo as a platform to raise capital close to 1.3 lakh crore in the COVID time, and now they are virtually debt free, the overall group, and the idea is to become debt free. So I think that kind of global funding and innovative way, if someone can do it, will be great. So what building a plan is so important at this point of time. Now, how do you build a plan once the immediate cash flow situation is out of way and you have done the working capital analysis, you have done the budgeting analysis, and you have ensured that you would, no matter what the situation would be, you would have cash for 15 months at least. Once you do that, once you are confident, once that worry is off your head, then you start building a plan. And it's a time for step two and reviewing and recreating new business plan that is aligned to your revised reality versus expectation picture. This will also require revaluation of all your previous success plans and rental agreements, buy, sell, and all those things, you government credits and all those things comes into the picture. And you actually are planning to see that what more you can do. A garment manufacturer starts manufacturing mask ventilator is an interesting plan. A chemical manufacturer is now manufacturing sanitizers. That is also a plan. So this is where business owners and their senior teams can evaluate and come and new opportunities that others might miss. Once a new business model emerges, it will be prudent to verify this business model with finance and legal experts. I think communication becomes the core at this point of time, not only with your employees, with your vendors, with your customers. I mean, if an organization or a leader which doesn't communicate properly with its client, with its stakeholders, with its vendor, employees, will face a big challenge. More so when everything is virtual now. You are not having a physical meeting. There is no physical meeting. There is no face-to-face meeting. You are either meeting your client, customer, employees on Zoom or on calls, on Skype. How do you communicate properly? So it's important that you communicate it while identifying each required steps, the person accountable for completing it, and the actions in the budgeted cash flow needed to realize it. Companies must also specify goals and objectivities of each initiative they undertake. For instance, some initiatives like internet marketing may continue contact with customers, and while others are discontinuing because business segment will preserve more cash. So communication is so important at this point of time. The ABC framework is therefore designed to move small businesses forward in a time of uncertainty. After this emergency is resolved, owners and leaders of many small businesses will be more aware to consider preparation for other types of business interruptions. And if you are able to formulate this ABC framework, what is the ABC framework? ABC framework is: C is communicate, B is building, and A is assessing. So you assess, you build, and then you communicate. If you are able to do this, you will come out stronger as a business capable of withstanding any test of time. One more interesting uh, thought process is that I was reading a report by Morgan Stanley in which said that uh, earlier challenges also, when it was in 2002, 2007, 2012, or maybe a century ago when there was a larger pandemic also, uh, you know, businesses which have come out successfully, those businesses have ruled the roster for 20 years, 20, 30 years, because they have seen the bigger challenge, and they have come out successfully. So these are some of the Gartner reports which we have built in. Now, how do you build a business which is resilient in response to COVID-19? How do you build a business which becomes so resilient, powerful, strong, proactive that it is ready for the next level of growth? Just a second. Yeah. So, are you shifting to digital ways of working? This is super critical. Are you companies need to make adjustment to expand flexible work policies and arrangements that allow workers to work safely and remotely? So at Tax Mantra, we have been working from home from 15th of March prior to the lockdown announced by government. And trust you, we have not lost a single percentage of productivity. Even in fact, our product over productivity has only increased. So move to digital in today's world as a business owner, more so for small and medium sized businesses. If you are not able to move to digital in today's world, then you have already lost the game. Be it project management software for work control, be it videos, tools, and other productivity tools, be it a timesheet, employee productivity tool, uh, and another thing. Today, small and medium-sized businesses require financial expert and financial support. They require financial expertise. There is no doubt about it. And virtual CFO is something which, as a growing business, you should look and see how you can take help from them in growing your business. Remodel business resilience and continuity with AI and IoT. So implement automated digital manufacturing capabilities. If you are a manufacturing, just see how you can do that. Supply chain so critical. Find out ways of innovative supply chain, and I think we have focused a lot on communication. So that is very critical. Supply chain again, create contingency plan, manage demand. So for instance, today, if you're working with a supply chain vendor who is still not working in the COVID situation, you are already losing the business. So speak and work with people who are super proactive. And one more thing which is very important is that make your business safe to work. So install all the precautions for post COVID and do that. As I was saying that any businesses, any small and medium sized businesses, if they are able to come out of this pandemic situation crisis victorious, unhurt, then will be they will actually lead and dominate the business scenario for at least next 20 years, because they have come out of the real test of survival. So with this, I end this webinar, and A little bit of background. So, uh, Profit Board is our new venture. It's a global investment banking firm based out of Singapore. We do deal making, fundraising support, and strategic consulting under Profit Board. Tax Mantra Global is a global tax and legal firm based out of India, Singapore, and US. I hope that you liked today's webinar. I am open to Q&A. If you have any, uh, do let me know, and I will be more than happy to answer. So, Ravi is asking whether this is the right time to invest more, considering we are already in the crisis, and is the right time to invest into new technologies. So, Ravi, see, it depends. If you are at the end of the day, you have to digitalize and you have to automate your business. So, if you feel that your most of your business is getting involved in firefighting, then I think this is the right time to do that because you have more time to create policies and processes at this point of time. So you should do that. I've got so many queries. So I think the best thing would be that I just put in my email ID and you can just mail me your queries and I will reply because there are many queries and we have run out of the time. Thanks everyone for joining in, and we will come back again soon with another webinar. Stay safe and ensure that you are building a sustainable business. Thank you.